really quick, like, just don't worry about it. So they're going to do networking, but what they're going to do is everybody's going to say where you're from, which name is where you're from, what you're interested in. And then there's a list of questions that they'll ask, and they're going to ask you. They're going to throw you the ball you are. And then you're going to throw that to somebody else, and they're going to look at the same thing until you have an entire web showing how connected everyone is. Yeah. And then we'll do the presentation, we'll come back, and we'll do that same thing again on the web again. And then you get to cut the web and keep it straight until your experience.
Questions on what I mentioned?
Okay, so 10 per group.
'Yopro is a community of people wanting to further their professional and personal lives. Is this a real recording or are we just doing practice?
We put it in your suitcase for a reason. You knew where you were going.
Yeah.
And you knew the color of the sign.
Matt, what do you think Yopro is?
Yopro is a community of people furthering their careers on a multi-level platform, basically. And how long do you want to be like a parent?
What do you think Yopro is?
I think Yopro is a way for you to face the world with an army of support that you wouldn't find anywhere else. People who care about you, people who believe in you, and people who can support you throughout whatever you decide to do.
It could be any endeavor?
Any endeavor, any age, any person, any interest. It's just about belonging to a group that you know cares about you.
Thank you.
Just to get a different something that could fly just if we get a different perspective.
Hi everyone, my name's Minna. I just moved here to San Francisco about 2 weeks ago from Stanford, where I was doing a master's in international relations, PR, and international point.
We got the full interaction. That's the biggest problem with that.
Tell me, Agnes, what do you think Yopro is?
Yopro is college to the corner office. It's a way to get your name out there as a professional on your way. Sorry, I'm not good at this.
Hi, Agnes.
Hi, Aileen.
What do you think Yopro is?
Yopro is a way for the college people coming out of their college to get into the world of careers and get a way to get out there.
Do you need another list of questions?
Understanding tonight, Yopro is about connecting young entrepreneurs that are doing different things in different areas of the community, and they like to connect within that community to bring together and help people make some people.
Hi.
Hey,
What's your name?
my name's Chavis.
Okay, so you're here at this Yopro event. What do you think Yopro is?
From my understanding, from tonight at least, I think Yopro is all about connecting young professionals that are in different areas of the community that understand and are interested in different things, and they want to connect. So this is a way of connecting people that are like-minded, and if not, maybe we can meet some cool new people.
Connect to form a team?
Connect, from what I'm understanding, there's team games so that they're connecting to really build with each other and I guess really understand and network with the right people.
In order to hire them or to for another reason, just to support?
No, I think it's just networking. I don't think it's a specific to be hired. I think it's just knowing people that's in the same field and building connections. If I can't hire you, maybe I can connect you with someone that can.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Well,
What's your name?
Atlee?
Oh, hi, Atlee. What do you think Yopro is? This is your first time here, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Do you know what it is?
Now I just heard about the event through a friend.
So do you have any idea what they are doing?
Well, it seems like a way for college grads to find a job.
Okay.
Yeah, like a network, social network type thing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
What's
Hello,
your name?
I'm Adrian.
Hi, Adrian. Can you tell me what do you think Yopro is?
Yopro is a network of young people who are ambitious about what they're doing and they're trying to meet people and trying to make connections, business and otherwise, to both have fun and combine all of our skills together to really make a cooperative business community, I think.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Adrian Spencer Para.
Yeah. What do you think Yopro is?
Yopro is a networking event for people to meet. I don't know. Sorry. All right. Let's start over.
Okay. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Adrian Spencer Para.
What do you think Yopro is? This is your first time here?
This is my first time here. Yopro is an organization that brings together entrepreneurs in a sort of relaxed environment where we can talk and ask each other what we're doing in our business and how we can help each other out and really facilitate our new businesses growing together and helping each other out.
Is that similar to a meetup?
It's a meetup of sorts. You get to meet people. I feel like meetup has the connotation that you know the person. This is more new people and breaching those social barriers that we didn't realize were there. And these people might be our neighbors and work within a similar field and be able to collaborate to bring everybody good business.
Thank you. That was perfect.
Oh, you mean like people that own, like, they know who I am. One of them tried to put me on.
Hi. What's your name?
Hi, my name's Katrina Gowan.
Oh, hi. Can you tell me what you think Yopro is?
I think Yopro is a platform made for people to socialize and network and exchange ideas regarding their career and life experiences. So it's a platform that's created to bring people together and meet one another and talk about business and also what they're involved in.
When you say platform, you mean online?
Platform, I mean like an atmosphere, an area, a physical place where people can come together and meet face to face with one another. Yeah,
in person.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, what's your name?
Are you videoing? Oh, my name is Marianne Morrison.
Oh, hi, Marianne. I would like to tell us, what do you think Yopro is?
Yopro is a community for young professionals. It's more than networking though. It enables people like in our same age group with the same goals to help each other out, like wherever we are in life, professionally, personally. Yeah. So it's like a support system.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Oh, Eric, nice to meet you. Can you tell me what you think Yopro is?
I think it's a business that is there to network people. I'm not that knowledgeable about it yet, but I'm here to learn some more, meet some people, try to gain some acquaintances, friends, whatever.
You're a college student?
Yeah, I just recent graduate. Yeah.
In what field?
Computer science.
So you want to connect with other people in your field, or
Yeah,
with
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, what's your name?
My name's Emily Lincoln.
And what do you think Yopro is?
Yopro is, well, first it stands for Young Professionals. And my understanding of it is that they bring young people together to create networking events. It's a different way of networking and to really learn and grow from the different people they have speaking or the different people they bring in. I don't know. I'm trying to.
When you say young, it's like, is there an age group like 20 to 30?
Yeah, I'd say 20 to 35.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, moving from college into your professional life and how to get the job that you want, how to accelerate in your career, and how to really live the life that you want to live.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Did you learn anything tonight in your group?
I learned a lot of very interesting things about the people in my group. So we asked a ton of very interesting questions, non-work related, but just about, you know, personal experiences, which I thought were cool.
Thank you so much. What's your name?
Han.
Han.
Like Fast and Furious Han. H-A-N.
What do you think Yopro is?
Yopro is a networking that sort of connect young professionals together where we can motivate each other to find our career paths in the future world.
And who do you connect in the group? You never met those people, right?
I was in the active lifestyle group.
Okay.
And then we talked with, it's called Studio Mix at one of the local gyms, and we had a lot of conversation about how healthy lifestyle can shape our everyday life and how that can help us in the future.
Perfect, thank you. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Jasmine Hammonds.
Nice to meet you. Can you tell me what you think Yopro is?
Yopro, to my understanding, is a company that hosts networking events for people of like-minded industries to come together and get a chance to meet, brainstorm, and expand their businesses.
And was it good tonight?
Yes, tonight has been good so far. I'm enjoying it. I'm meeting a lot of new people, learning about a lot of new businesses, and getting ideas on expanding my own.
Okay, and what field are you in?
I am in the business and technology field, specifically in sports.
Nice. Thank you so much.
My name is Jahan Molden.
Nice to meet you. Can you tell me what you think Yopro is?
It seems to be an organization that brings people together, people with different interests, people who are into starting businesses, networking. And it seems like the approach is a little different than what I've seen before. Different in a good way.
What were you networking for tonight?
Well, I'm in the process of starting up a social media app and website service. And I'm just here to meet people, network, exchange ideas, and collaborate.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, so far, yes. The different activities were interesting. It's a nice way to kind of break the ice and meet different people. So yes, I'm enjoying myself.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Hi, what is your name?
My name is Kevin Catterdahl.
Oh, nice to meet you. Can you tell me what you think Yopro is?
Yopro is a networking event for young professionals in and around San Francisco, but with intentions to go on a more global scale. It's very different from normal networking events in that it's more intimate and you're paired with people that have similar interests and that you'll be able to help them as well as them help you.
And that's what you experienced tonight?
That is what I experienced tonight. So far, it's been great group of people. Everyone's very open and willing to help and meet each other, and on the same level as far as where they want to go. They're very career driven and welcoming people.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is your name?
My name is John Gilfillan.
What do you think Yopro is?
Yopro is a way for people like me and young professionals really to find a means to an end in terms of getting their lives started, getting their job started, and if they already have that started, it's even a way to find people that can help improve your professional career.
Is that what you experienced tonight?
Yeah, you know, I think it's always great to network with people. As a co-founder of another networking group involved in travel, I find it very important, as well as the best way to improve your career and move forward without, you know, having any red tape or anything along those lines. You can really do with it what you want and make it as successful as you want, or you can even just create new friends, even if that's what comes from it, which is always positive.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
1, 2, 3. I got chicken wings on my hands.
Getting people together to like hang out. I mean, but until that.
So much for.
Guys, we need you over here because he can project right here.
This is Fran's loudest voice. If you bring the chairs, come on over. We have to get kind of comfortable. I promise it's not going to be that long. There's more seats over here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you. All right. Once again, how have you been enjoying it so far? Somewhat good? A little different? Yeah?
No, more this way, right there.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to echo that it's our pleasure to have you.
What are we pausing for?
Okay. It's our pleasure to have you. It's a unique circumstance. It's our first opportunity to be here in an event like this, and we thoroughly appreciate you guys being our early adopters and innovators for showing up and participating. So after this, we'd love to get your feedback and find out how we can do this better, because we're planning to do this again in February next year. I have the distinct honor here today to sit with somebody that I consider a good friend. This is Fran Maier, the founder of Match.com, and she'll tell you a little bit more about the other great and amazing things that she's done. But we kind of want to make this interactive. We want to make this an opportunity for you to ask questions and see exactly, what you want to know. I thought we'd start off by, telling you guys a little bit about Yopro and how we got started and why we came to this point. And it starts off with my personal story. I was born in Trinidad and Tobago, and I lived there until I was 19 years. But at the age of 16, I had the entrepreneurship blood. I totally would take my mom traveled back and forth, and she would bring candies for a candy store that she owned. And I would ask her to sell me some of her candies. I would take it to school and resell it again and make money off of my friends, which was totally cool because, they had money.
And legal.
And from the age of 16, I figured out, entrepreneurship was a great thing. You can kind of control your own destiny. And I decided I'm going to do that. And so I joined American Airlines, because that makes so much sense. But I wanted to work for a big airline. I wanted to travel the world, and I wanted to see what was out there. And I did. I had an opportunity to climb the corporate ladder and experience new places and new cities, and it was a great career path, but I never got rid of entrepreneurship. It was always in my blood. So what I ended up doing was I dabbled in catering for a little bit, I dabbled in real estate for a little bit, I lost a lot of money in real estate, and then I finally focused on what I really like to do. I moved to Ireland with American Airlines, and when I realized that, when I got there, I realized I had hit the top of my game. I was in a professional environment with other young professionals, but I didn't know anyone. I was in a new country, had a new job, and I didn't know anyone. And it was a lonely place. And so I reached out for other young professionals, and I couldn't really find any in Dublin, but I found a group in London called European Young Professionals. And I asked them, well, can I start a chapter in Dublin? And they said, yeah, and once a month we got together and we just did creative events. I had a real job, so this was just on the side. 2 years later, 800 members later, we realized that there's something here. And so what we ended up doing is, we ended up starting that same organization in London, Dublin, Barcelona, and Bangkok. And 10,000 members later, we realized we have a community. And we thought, what do you do when you don't go to an event? Well, we didn't have anything built. So we thought, well, why not build a back-end support? Why not build a network that people can connect to when they're not going to events? And that was the birth of Yopro. That was our vision, to make the world a less lonely place for people who are ambitious and driven and climbing that career ladder, whether they're a startup or whether they're a professional. And that's why you're here today. So with that, that's my story. I'm going to hand it over to Fran, because she's got an even more amazing story. And then we'd like to hear what questions you have for us.
I cannot project like he does. Such a disadvantage, don't you think?
I'm going to help with that.
Thank you. Wow, great to be here. I love talking to young people early in the professions, entrepreneurs, people working at startups. I have 2 sons, they're in their early 20s, so I'm constantly being amazed by how much vacation days they have, how much you're getting paid, all of that. So I grew up in Santa Fe, New Mexico, ended up at Stanford, thought I had died and gone to heaven in the mid-80s. Graduated there, went on to business school. Kind of thought good thing to do would be learn marketing. How many of you are in marketing? How many of you think you know marketing? See, that's the problem. Everybody who's not in marketing thinks they know marketing, right? After business school, I went and worked at Clorox, and this is like late 80s. Good place to be, brand management. I can tell you all about bleach, salad dressing, and charcoal. There was a little recession. I was in the food division. It got sold. Second child, 7 months pregnant, out of a job. Not so fun. Ended up going to AAA, which was like working for a government agency here in San Francisco. Okay, so that's kind of like normal. Then the internet happened. And I'm sitting at AAA and I see AOL and the World Wide Web and Netscape for the first time. And I'm reading this book called The 1-to-1 Future. It's about how you can connect with your customers via fax.
Do you remember facts?
Facts. Okay. And then I see the internet and I'm like, oh my God, this is going to change everything. And around that time, I went to my business school reunion and connected with a guy called Gary Kremen. Anybody of you know Gary? Gary's fairly famous. He's a crazy nutso guy. In fact, he's so crazy that before I took the job at Match.com, I told none of my girlfriends from business school because I knew they'd all say, "Are you nuts to work for Gary?" And you know, I have found over the years I have a high capacity for working with nuts. That's a good thing because there's a lot of crazies out there, and some of them are geniuses, and you know, you may as well go ahead and do it. So I had 2 children under 4, and I decided to jump from AAA in a solid job to go do Match.com. Okay? Now, if I look back on the first part of my internet career, I say I did the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good was Match.com because, I mean, how many of you have been on Match.com? How many of your parents have been on Match.com? Right? How many weddings have you gone to that started Match.com? Years later, what my younger son said to me when we were watching one of these YouTube videos, and he said something like 4 in 10 relationships started online. He looks at me and he says, "You were part of that, Mom." You know? So it was cool. So I'll talk a little bit about Match because everybody wants to know about Match, but run from there to women.com because I really thought there needed to be some good, really good resources and websites and community for women that I did newlight.com. So good Match, bad women.com. This is late 90s. It was all about going public. It was all about that. And then the ugly was I joined bluelight.com. We were funded to something like $250 million. I had a $100 million marketing budget. Can you imagine a $100 million marketing budget? Oh my God, it was insane. And then of course everything crashed. And from that standpoint, I shifted. I took a year off. I joined the PTA. I did some things with my kids. You know, that was fun. And I thought, you know, I should just be happy with what I have because it's 2001 and things aren't feeling so good, right? So I joined a nonprofit called TRUSTe. How many of you have seen the green and black logo called TRUSTe? Different websites?
TRUSTe.
Not-for-profit industry association. I joined in August of 2001. My first board meeting was supposed to be 9/11. Of course, it didn't happen. But basically, I said to the board, I don't know if we're going to make it through this year because, I mean, you know, the dot-com crash is happening. We just had 9/11. There's anthrax in the mail. I mean, do any of you remember this? This is just like, oh my God, right? I mean, you know. And about 3 years into it, I realized I had a good brand. I had great customers, IBM, Intel, Yahoo, for a time Facebook, you know, well, they were even around to 2007, 5, whatever. Really good company, and I started to put together the strategy to basically say to my lawyer, privacy lawyer, board of directors, we need to raise money, we need to go private because these privacy issues are not going away. We agree the privacy issues have not gone away. Have the privacy issues gone away? No, they're even harder than the others. So 2008, I raised money from Excel, a very well-known Dutch capital firm, and worked for 4 years, a little bit of CEO, then we hired somebody else because that's what happens. And I stopped working full-time in 2012. I'm still chair of TRUSTe, and right now I'm advising tons of startups, a lot of them women-led, which I enjoy a lot. I'm on a couple of civic boards like San Francisco's Children's Council, which helps match parents to childcare, very important thing, especially for moms, but dads too. And I'm having the time of my life, okay? Just great. So I get to speak and talk to a lot of people, and I think my journey, I should tell you, has a lot of mistakes in it. I made a lot of mistakes. I've learned a lot of lessons. Mistake number 1 is we sold Match.com in 1998 to send it for $10 million, actually less than that, okay? I was the GM of Match.com. Match.com was owned by a company called Electric Classifieds. Electric Classifieds was trying to put the classifieds through newspapers onto the internet. All our board members thought the personals kind of stunk, right? It was sleazy. It wasn't something they wanted to be involved with. In fact, one of the biggest issues about being in any sort of internet startup, are any of you in internet startups? Okay, almost in any internet startup, the biggest issue above all is timing and whether or not you've got the timing on your side. We were too early. Our investors didn't know that brand mattered on the internet. I knew it, but they didn't. Our investors didn't know that community and social networking and virality was important, right? But of course it is. They didn't understand the power of network impact. But what they didn't really understand is not only was Match.com changing online dating or personals, but it has become something people do. Now, if you like go date and meet somebody at a bar, that's dating in the wild. Why would you do that?
The norm is online.
The norm has turned to be online. So obviously, I feel very proud about being part of that. I think we did some really good stuff at Match and very exciting. But nonetheless, we sold it for $10 million. My big fuck up though was I did not step up and say to a couple of other investors, I'll lead it, I'll run it, I'll take it to the next step. And within a year, it was sold to for $70 million. And clearly, had I been part of that, well, who knows what things would have changed. Honestly, how many of you, I'm sure it's mostly women, have read Lean In? Okay? I actually think guys should read Lean In too. Not to get insights on women, but you might be a guy who's more like a gal, and you need to read Lean In so that you don't make the same mistakes. If I had known, if I had read Lean In then, perhaps I would have had the gumption, the security, the confidence, and the willingness to ask for help. And I didn't do that when I should have done that. And I missed a great opportunity. Fortunately, a number of years later, I had another opportunity with TRUSTe. And when it came down to we needed to go for a profit, I needed to own some of it. And in the end, I was able to move a nonprofit board that was very reluctant to do it because I was willing, at that point, had the confidence, had the strategy, knew what I wanted, and was able to do it. So, you know, plenty of big mistakes along the way. And one of the most important things you can always do is try to learn from your own mistakes. But, you know, it's fair to learn from other people's mistakes too. So definitely read Lean In. What else can I tell you? I just wrote a few notes in terms of career advice, because you guys, I understand, are all early in your careers, trying to figure out what to do next. I've seen a lot of people. One of my first points of advice is don't go to law school. Does anybody go to law school?
Not anymore.
Okay. 3 years out of it if you're a woman, oh, forget it. And it's too much money, and I don't know very many happy lawyers. A few, but I mean so many that hate it. Second piece of advice, how many of you think about going to business school?
Too late.
Too late, you're going? No, I think business school could be good, but try to make it that somebody else is paying for it. And don't go, yeah, okay,
the state pays for
go to a
tomorrow.
really good one, make sure somebody else is paying for it. That's what but the larger lesson is don't stop learning. Whether it's business school, graduate school, one kind of thing or another, certifications, training, challenging assignments, whatever, just try and soak up as much as you can. My son works at Accenture. They apparently have like a $5,000 training budget. I was like, oh my God, go for that. That is fabulous. Second thing, find mentors, champions, and friends. It looks like you're already starting to do that being here at Yopro. But you do need champions and mentors in any sort of corporate environment. And it doesn't mean that, you know, women still get men champions, maybe get women champions. If you can mentor and champion somebody else, play it forward. It's a good thing to do. You learn how. Just do that. A lesson I've told my kids from the very beginning. One of the most important things to do is show up. That doesn't sound like a big deal. You've showed up here tonight, so okay. But it's amazing how many people don't show up. And what I mean by showing up is they come to work and they're not prepared, they're not ready, they're not eager, they're not engaged, they're checked out, or they're late, or they don't show up. I mean, the thing, you'd be surprised how many opportunities happen just because you're at the place at the right time. Does this resonate? Okay. Well, take risks, all of us probably have people in our family who are potentially less successful, or I have a brother who's 45 years old, he's working $10 an hour at Walmart. I mean, I feel so sad about that. But he worked for years in the bank, and he never took a risk. And when that bank outsourced him or out technology him, he had nothing, okay? And I think $10 an hour at Walmart's shitty. But I also think he never took a risk, And in the end, not taking a risk is a hell of a risk. So you've got to always, there's a lot of quotes on this. And think about what's important to you. One of my favorite words is impact. And maybe it goes with my advanced age, but at this point, as I'm thinking about things I want to do, but honestly, if I think back at the things that I did do, like Match.com and Women.com, less so Blue Light, that was all about money, but TRUSTe and so on, I really feel like I've had an impact in a positive way on people's lives and pretty much a big scale. And that, hopefully is part of the epitaph, is part of what you see at the end. And I have found when you are involved in a venture that is bigger than just the money and cents. It's more about introducing people to other people or experiences or change the way something's done or, impact writ large could be all kinds of things, but that can be very motivational and helps you see through the day-to-day flaws of any sort of job, the drudgery of any sort of work that you have. If you can have some impact and focus on that, really makes every day much better, even though there are always those things that are kind of a drag. And I'll stop there. How's that?
It's pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah, does anybody have any questions?
So what did you, so in business school you learn a lot of things, but which part of business school do you find most valuable when you want to go into Match.com and other internet companies?
Okay, is that a two-part question?
It's one question, one part.
Okay, so when I was in business school, there was no internet. Okay, I did turn down Microsoft because this is kind of funny. I went to interview at Microsoft. It was Valentine's Day, and they were apparently completely clueless at Microsoft that it was Valentine's Day. So we went out to dinner with this lady, and she was bemoaning the whole time how nobody ever. She changed her whole look. She changed her hair. She lost 30 pounds. Nobody even noticed. And that's one reason why I didn't go to Microsoft in 1989. So stupid. Oh, that's funny. But I mean, I think the best part of business school, honestly, is who you get to know and how those connections. I mean, I ended up going to Match.com through one of my business school classmates. So clearly, going to Stanford or going to some of the better business schools do give you a leg up, I think, in the networking and in the credibility and so on. I don't know, if I look at the classes, I think the group classes were the best, the entrepreneurial and strategy classes were great, but I probably learned more about marketing working at Clorox than I did at Stanford Business School. I'm glad I did it. I had a nice scholarship. It wasn't nearly as expensive then as it is now. Let me tell you one thing that makes me laugh. Startups now. Oh my God, you guys live such the life. I mean, when I was early on at Nash, we didn't have people bring us food. You know? There was no helping childcare. There was no talk about this is our culture. We kind of did some of that. I'm not saying it was devoid of culture, but it wasn't really. Huh? Okay, we'd have keggers. Occasionally, we'd have barbecue. I'm not saying it was horrible. I'm just saying the support for employees in startups now. I mean, my son who works at Accenture, he has 5 weeks vacation. That's more than his daddy has. You know, it's like, geez, how's that happen? I didn't know about things like stock options really until I was well into it. There's all kinds of things I didn't know. So, most people your age are so much more clued into this kind of stuff than we were. Even having gone to Stanford Business School.
Does anybody have anything else? Yes, sir. Kevin?
Who's the most influential mentor in your life and why?
I was very lucky. I got to meet this woman. Her name is Christine Varney. She used to be with the Department of Justice right under Holder, and prior to that, she worked on Hillary Clinton's campaign. And early in her career, she was in Clinton's cabinet. And she was on the board of directors of TRUSTe. She always had my back. So not just a mentor, but a champion. So before her board meeting, and clearly when we were doing the switch from nonprofit to for-profit, the board dynamics and the politics were extremely difficult, and you know, she would call me and tell me, okay, this is how you have to play this, and she was so astute and so good. The best thing about it though, we were in the board meeting and I had 2 VCs fly out to DC to pitch the nonprofit board to take their money. Okay, this is reversed. This doesn't happen. And they were both really good VCs, right? And the nonprofit board members were thinking, oh, let's see if we can get more money. Let's do this and let's do that. And they kicked me out of the room, but I still had a line in. And she's the one who said, you know, you didn't think Fran was going to bring in the deals. You didn't think she was going to bring in 2 deals. You know, the proposals here are both very solid. We've got to go with the one that she's got to live with. And end the conversation, all those guys back in. But a very powerful woman, and one of the smartest people I've ever met. Breakdown, fun too. But I didn't have enough. One of my big mistakes early in my career is not knowing how to ask for help, or assistance, or you know. I don't think you go up to somebody and say, "Hey, will you be my mentor?" You know, and Sheryl Sandberg talks about that. But I think that's been true for a long time. But I don't know that I want to show vulnerability enough to go up to other people and say, "Hey, you know, I'd like to learn a little bit more about what you do and how you do it," or anything like that. So I wish I had. Ladies, any questions? Come on.
I might have one for you. Working for a startup, maybe an older startup.
What's that?
Working for an older startup. I'm looking at one right now, and a couple of my friends have inside information about the company, how they function. They're warning me about the politics. And I've worked for bigger companies, mid-sized companies with a lot of big politics. What would your suggestion be, especially as a woman, to deal with the politics within a company so that you can still do your job and move forward and not kind of just get away from that whole political drama, quote unquote?
I don't know. You know, I'd probably be skeptical to some degree that you can't deal with politics, or that is such a big function in any sort of company. But if you've heard from a lot of people there's dysfunction, then, you know, I don't know that I'd ignore it. On the other hand, how many of you, when you look at colleges, looked at, you know, College Confidential? You know, sometimes, okay, fine, but sometimes you can hear things and people say the negative and they don't necessarily say the positive. So if you're still interviewing, I'd ask some questions about culture and what's important here, and
what if you try to like accept the job and you know that, you know, there's politics and so forth, but you really like you really like the company and everything about it, but just how to maneuver, especially in a startup-ish environment, to maneuver, especially as a woman, with politics.
Yeah, try to read where the winds are shifting, but always do a good job. Try not to get too caught up with it, but if it's a direct boss who's involved in it, I think it's kind of hard. Try and make there's so many egos around, there's so many different ways, and there's so many smart people who can disagree and both be right, it's just a matter of course. I think one of the things that takes companies down is an inability to make a decision and agree to disagree. And at some level you have to agree to disagree and execute on a plan that's agreed to. And when that doesn't happen, that's a dysfunction. Have the debate, but once you make a decision, do it. I recently was talking to somebody and they're interested in hiring me. And the guy never asked for references because people don't ask for references anymore, right? And there's really, in online dating and job search, there's really no anonymity at some level. And I said, really? So what? Tell me, what did you hear? He goes, well, I heard the references of somebody who's probably gotten things done over the years and maybe occasionally stepped on a few toes. I was like, yeah, okay, and that's going to happen over time. Your reputation will accrue to you, and for the most part, you have to be aware of that. On the other hand, you have to know that as you rise, you will fire people. You almost inevitably you will make bad hires or inherit hires that are not producing. You'll have to fire people. Firing people is a very difficult thing to do. How many of you have ever fired anybody? Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. It's a lot of firing.
And usually when you get there, you're there. How many of us have been fired? My younger son once told a reporter, my mom doesn't mind getting fired. She gets money every time. But what's important is you try and do it in the best way you possibly can. Potentially check in with the people later on. I'm friends with many people I fired. Not all, but many. And that's okay.
So you said that your college friend introduced you into Match.com.
Business school friend.
Yeah, business school. So how did you know that was, because it was his idea, or was it
His idea was the lecture classifieds thing, and having a personals to sort of be the proof of concept.
So how did you guys build your team to where you guys brought kind of like common interests together to make Match.com? Because there's always someone who has an idea, but then they feel like maybe it's your idea, and so they start falling off. How did you guys stay?
Yeah, no, we spent a lot of time really thinking about Match and having a good time with it. And he hired me, and I hired some other people, and early on there were 5 of us in a basement on Granite Street, not too far from here. And the technology for the personals was pretty much the same as for the classified business. But, it was fun. So you want to match people. This is 1995. There's nothing online. You don't have 100 questions, right? Because nobody's going to get matched. You have 5 questions. Basic. We early on came on the strategy that we wanted to attract women to Match.com because the idea was if we got women, men would follow. Nobody else had that strategy.
Holds true today. It still holds true today.
And so that meant we spent some time really thinking about who were we targeting and what did she care for. And after really talking to a lot of people and thinking about it, safety, anonymity, and fun. Those were our 3 words. Especially back then, the anonymity and the safety, still important, right? Anonymity was maybe new. And so we really thought about how do we deliver those things. We really thought about what a woman wants. So for example, I'm very proud of this one. The engineer comes in. What are our weight categories for matching? You mean in pounds? Yes, we want to know it in pounds. So I'm like, no, we're not doing that. We are doing body type, you know, athletic, ample, Rubenesque, whatever. And that turned out to be pretty standard. I haven't ever seen a weight question, height maybe, but not weight on any of the online dating sites. Because I had worked at AAA, one of my contributions is we didn't do, the guys all thought, and I need to write this up for a book company. The guys all thought we charge per email. So if you want to connect to somebody, charge you a dime per email. And I knew women would hate that. I mean, that's like being nickel and dime, you know. So we had, because I had worked at AAA and saw the power of membership, we really went with a membership model. And for a long time, even through now, that's the primary model, and for good reason. I'm not sure if I answered your question.
Well, I was more so, I liked what you answered. But it was more so just like the people you worked with. How did you know that they wanted to do Match.com with you and had that vision to push it?
Match.com was pretty easy to get people. They were kind of excited about the whole thing. And this was also mid-90s. People were just crazy to go into a startup of one kind or another. And no, it wasn't that hard.
Because you know, a lot of people don't want to do certain things because they're like, it's not going to pay me right now. You know, like they're less willing.
So I would say the mid-90s were pretty decent in terms of salaries. When I was at bluelight.com, this was in 99 before the crash. Oh my God, I mean, everybody was getting $150,000 even if they had so little experience. It was nuts. And I I didn't know about this, but one of my peers in a different division of Blue Light, he bought somebody a Beamer. And I was like, you gotta be kidding. I mean, that made me disgusting.
Yeah, those days are gone.
Yeah, I hope they don't come back. I mean, that was ugly. You know? I mean, I still feel, I don't think we're a little bit foamy, but not quite that foamy. It's also cheaper to start up things, and the whole idea of lean startup, I think, is really good. And what I think is hard now is standing out from the crowd, mobile user acquisition, raising even a little bit of money. You know, one of the advantages of being a coder is at least you can get a little bit farther down the road in terms of a demo or a proof of concept than if you're not a coder. So that helps. But I also think it's a myth that you have to be a technology person to start a company. A lot of people who started companies are our founder teams, our marketing, sales, business development, product people, and those are perfectly good places to start. It's hard to do some. I was impressed by these gals. They're starting a new company to reinvent the way we buy bras. Which, don't you ladies think there ought to be a different way? And one of the gals worked for a year at Nordstrom in the lingerie department. You know, it's like, okay, that's commitment. You know, and she learned a lot, as you'd expect. So putting in that, you know, just because you have an idea isn't enough. You've got to spend the time actually going and sort of living it, right? And I think that's a good thing to do too.
So Fran's going to be with us for the rest of the evening, so in case anybody has any more questions, we'll definitely be around. We're going to go back into groups and really just talk a little bit about what Fran's talked about within your groups, what you guys started. Spend about 20-30 minutes on that, and then it's free drink. No, sorry, let me take that back.
That was close, man.
More drinks after that. Everybody would have gotten a ticket for their free drink. So more drinks after that. So let's break it back into groups, and then we'll get started with the teams again. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Hi, what's your name?
My name's John Bloor.
And what do you think?
My name's Michael Usowski.
Michael.
Yes.
Okay, Michael, what do you think Yopro is?
Yopro, it's a amazing website where young professionals can contact individuals in their field, mentors, and tap into what's of their interest.
but right now, tonight, you're not on the website.
I'm not. Well, you asked me what Yopro is.
So that's Yopro is, it's a website?
What's that?
So to you, Yopro is a website?
No, Yopro is a way of... Is that good? PR? I need PR.
It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. It's about being.
What's your name?
Hi, my name is John Bloor.
Okay, and what do you think Yopro is?
Yopro is a community for young professionals to network and meet older, more established colleagues, get advice, mentorship, network.
Like tonight?
Like tonight, exactly.
Did you network?
Of course.
Did you meet anyone?
I met some really great people in there, absolutely, that have some good advice, a lot of experience and a lot to offer, so hopefully I'll get some good out of this.
Thank you.